Alright, so in this video I will show you how to set up a regular import from your supplier file in a way so that you can easily repeat the same import again and again and again when your supplier gives you the new file. Yeah, for the sake of example, here are two files from a supplier. A CSV file, like typically your supplier is sending you some kind of their own CSV file with their own columns, and so we would need to map it to the Excelify format so that it can be repeated easily each time the supplier sends you the new file. And this is what I'm going to show you. Let's start by creating a new sheet, and let's call it some kind of supplier mapping, because it will be essentially the supplier mapping file. We will map the supplier data to the Excelify sheet data. So here we will have basically two sheets. One will be the data sheet, which comes from supplier, and the other will be a product sheet, which will be actually imported. And yeah, so let's start by importing the data from the supplier. And with Google Sheets, there is this file import function where you can just upload the CSV file. Here, when we upload it, you can just choose here replace data at selected cell, and everything detect automatically and import data, and here you go, you have the file from your supplier imported in Google Sheets. Let's just freeze the first row. Okay, now we have the source data, and then we need to prepare the Excelify template in a way that we don't need to do this mapping manually again. We can just do this preparation once and then repeat each time. And for that, we will go to the Excelify app and we will download the template. Basically, we just take the template file, and we can easily just start by just copying all the titles from the template, because that's what we are going to map to here, like that. Again, freeze the first row so that we can scroll around. And yeah, and now we can start using formulas to grab the data from the data sheet. And for example, if we say the first one in the supplier file is a SKU, and we know that the SKU is actually saved in a variant SKU column in Excelify format, so we can just press equals, switch to the data, and choose the first one here and press enter. And now you see here is this formula on the top. It takes the data from the data sheet A2, and now if we will just copy it down, you see it takes all those values actually from the up to the A013, this is up to here. It takes them as a formula, and this is very important, not to copy just the data but to put the formulas here. And now at the end I will show you why this becomes very magical at the end. So the next column is a name, and it's basically, let's say it's a product title. Again, let's do the same. Equals, switch to data, pick the first title again, and here we can again drag down, and we will have all the titles for our products. And in this case, for example, we want our handle to be a combination of title and a SKU. Let's say, for example, if some products have the same title, we want them always to be unique. So we can make here a formula, like equals again, and choose the title, and then write the ampersand symbol, then in quotes, let's put the, what should we put, a dash, close the quotes, and again click on a variant SKU, and you see the formula says the D2 and minus and AE2. Enter, and this will generate for us the handle, or the basic contents of the handle, because the app will convert this handle eventually to the proper Shopify handle. And this way we map all the fields. Okay, now the price, and let's say you want the price to be always with a 20% markup from the supplier. Again, we find the variant price column equals, select the price, and now we multiply by 1.2, which will give us a 20% markup. And actually, you see there's this decimal places here, like not very precise number. We can do it like with a formula round to 2 places, and then it will round us to like the price to the normal 2 places. Again, we copied it down, and in this case all the prices are the same, but now the quantity, most likely we will keep it the same, so the quantity will be in the here variant inventory quantity, and we just pick the value from the quantity, and again copy it down. Alright, so now is very interesting part, and it's very typical that your supplier gives you several images in like 3 different columns, and there are like 3 different images for one product. How can we import all those images? And this is very simple. Here again we have this image src column where we should put all the images, and now we make the formula, and the formula is in the Google Sheets. There is a join formula. Essentially we want to make the images, all the images appear in the same cell here, separated by a semicolon. That's what we want, because Excelify can import them separated by a semicolon. So we will join all those 3 images by a you see the formula says a delimiter, and the delimiter will be a semicolon like this, and now it wants the value or array of the images, and so it works very simple. We just here select all those 3 images, and that's it. And here we have our images. You see here is this semicolon. All the links, they are joined with a semicolon, and that's what we need. Yep. And in the Excel there is no join formula, there is a text join, but it does essentially the same. So the same thing can be done with Google Sheets and with Excel as well. And again, we just copy it down and delete from here, and that's it. And in case you will have a situation, for example, that there is no image here, or there is no images here, let's say, also might happen, right? Or even there is no image here. Let's say there is no images at all. You will end up with images like this, that there is some just semicolons without images, and there is also like just the semicolons. But that's okay. The app can handle it. It will recognize that there are no images between those semicolons, and it will just import whatever it has there, so you don't have to worry about it. And yeah, and basically we can clean this up. We can delete any other columns that we don't want to change or don't want to import, because it might be that after you have imported your data, you will do some manual changes with it in the Shopify. So by deleting those columns, you are essentially telling the app not to update any other column, but just those which you are importing. It will just keep the other columns unchanged. So yes, your import file eventually is like this. And so let's just import it and see what happens. So I will make a shareable link like this. We need to make sure that it's anyone with this link can view, so that we get a public link to this spreadsheet. And now we can go to the Excelify and paste this Google Sheets link here. And now it's analyzing. Yeah, see, it found 14 products and we just imported. All right, so it has created 14 new products. Now if we go to our products list, we can see that they are here with all the 3 images and the name and the price, the SKU, the quantity. Everything is here, what we imported. And we can change them. We can add some tags, tag 1, tag 2. If we want, we can manually. This is a description. We can easily change those products. The column, whatever columns we didn't import, we can change them, because the next time when we will import it, it will again update only these columns. And so yeah, this was the part 1 where we imported just the first time. And it might not seem much, but the real value comes from a second time. Let's say now the day came and the supplier sent you the second file, which is updated from the first one. And so all we need to do is just go to the data, click here and make the file import, and now upload here the second file, which is the updated one. And again, choose here replace data at selected cell, and that's it. It will replace this data. You see here are much more products again, and here our formulas have also updated with this data. Just one thing we need to make sure, we need to copy as many rows with formulas here as many we have in the data. Let's say if we have a data here until the 35, the row 35, we need to make sure that our formulas here are also going until the row 35. And we can do it simply by selecting any one row, press Command C or Control C depending on you are on Mac or on Windows, and now select as far as you want to copy them and press Control V or Command V, and that's all. You see, all the data is now updated from your source data sheet. The last one is products 34 and this one is product 34. So yeah, and that's it. All you needed to do is just this. And again, you can just copy this link, go to the Excelify app. Oh, and actually the link is already here, so we can just press the button for uploading, and you see there is, again, it found now that there is a 34 products, and even more, you can set up here the repeated import from those sheets so that you don't have to upload like every time manually. You can just say that every 1 days, like run until cancelled, and that's it, and it will schedule the repeated automatic import from this sheet every day. But yeah, for now we will just do it manually. So I press the import, let's close the options and allow it to import. So you see that it has finished. It updated all the 14 previous products and created new 20 products. And now if we go again here to the products list, you can see that refreshing, and now there are all the many products. And what's important here, remember that I have changed the product one. I have added the description and type and tags, and they are still here, you see. And now I will show you why I suggest you to use Google Sheets for these kinds of cases. Is that if your supplier is giving actually you the link to their data file, not just sending the data file itself, you can automate this even further. And let's just delete all the data that we had here, because if we have a link from our supplier, there is this formula in Google Sheets, and it says import data, and the formula takes in quotes the link. I'll just paste the link, which is basically the link to the same file, the third file on a web. And when I press enter, you see it imported this file to the Google Sheets, and here again it's all updated automatically. And so that way you don't even have to import any additional files from Supplier. You can just make this formula and that's it. And each time your automatic import will import from the Google Sheets, it will update from that link. And this is how you can ultimately automate your import. And there is also additional ways how can you compile this sheet. You can use not only the formulas, there is also the query formula, which allows you to select query, select from the source data and assign labels and so on. But yeah, the basic principle, you get it. And yeah, also you might notice that here we had some images duplicated. Normally you will not have them duplicated here, because just those were like the dummy image links, and what the app is doing, it's checking by the file name whether the file name is the same or different. And usually the file names will be the same, so the app will recognize it and will keep the same images and will not duplicate them. But in case if you have this kind of problem, you can do one more trick. I'll quickly show you. There is the column that's called image command, and you can put this command as a replace. And what that will do, it will always replace the existing images with those new images. And then this is how you can avoid this issue if you get duplicate images. Yeah. ask us our support if you have any further questions on how to automate your imports. See you.